Hello everyone, and welcome back to another review video. Now this is more so a mock review than a an official review, because this is a mock which is based off of the AT-AT and AT-M6, first being from the original trilogy, then from the First Order, and this also is kind of based off of my old mock of the AT-AT in the iCard up above, if I remember to include it. However, this is kind of also a bit different, as it has a lot more focus on the front, and the legs are a bit different than the actual AT-ATs. They look more like the M6s, just kind of standing so that it can have the not the camera, but the cannon just kind of shoved up in front. The back and everything else around it is kind of based off of the bigger AT-AT Lego set, which I have here with me. However, this is still downscaled. It's bigger than the old version, but it is a lot smaller than some of the official material. And if you're wondering about the microfighter variant, it towers over it, like the previous model did. However, this one towers over that one as well, so you can imagine that it's pretty big. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of things. Now, the legs themselves are symmetrical. If we snap off two of them from the ball joints, we can see it's nothing too crazy. There's a little bit of detail there, but generally I didn't really put too much time and effort into the legs, as those were kind of the last thing, and really weren't meant to be anything too special, as and now I'm putting them in the wrong way. Please hold. As with the majority of custom sets, there are some difficulties when you try to record or use them. So I will try to fix this up, and let's get back to the review in no time. As I have unforeseenly mentioned, the structural integrity of this one is a lot weaker than the previous model, but I think we should be able to get right back into it, even after that unfortunate mistake. Now, the side paneling here uses a little bit of like this chrome vent pieces, and then just some smoothness to kind of round off the sides, create a bit of cleanness there. Then you've got this like little gauge there, just kind of hidden behind one of these panels, to kind of act like the disc pieces that you can see at the legs. It's not there on the back, but it is at the front. Just a nice little thing. Then it kind of rounds down from the top over into the head area, which does have like the bit wheel piece in the front. The head itself has a lot more weaponry. Now I understand this bit around like the head area looks like firing or turrets of some kind. They're just there for like slimming it down and like kind of focusing in on like the main area of like the interior, but there's also a smaller one over on the lower area, just to kind of have for actual like other types of things that you would have. There's a lot of interesting detail that's kind of minute on the head, but I think that it works well, especially with these like big turrets on the side, which use these like flag pieces. It is loosely attached, like a lot of the set is, simply because it tries to do a lot, and I'll get to another feature, which is why it's much weaker, but it does have 4 heavy cannons just all over the place, with a lot of detail on the underside just to kind of help support those cannons. And I think the front is probably my favorite part of the thing, because it's kind of the most unique part of the whole thing, because the rest of it is kind of an AT-AT. The other side is a complete mimic of the side that we already looked at, so we're not going to put much time into that. But the back is what you'd expect to look like if you've seen the AT-AT. It's a little bit different, as not all the parts were used exactly, but it does have that general like circular shape at the back with a little wheel at the bottom, as can be seen with this tiny piece. However, unlike the previous version, this can open up, which is what really created the structural weakness. Now, it's not a crazy interior, and accessibility-wise, you do have this little, the roof is just on 4 clips, and so you can have a small thing there. So, realistically, you can have a few weapon attachments, or stuff like that. I don't know if a minifigure can actually fit in there, as I haven't tested, but if we take prototype Boba Fett in there, place him in, and try to seal it up, looks like they can fit. So you can, theoretically, if you disregard all the inability to actually be stable, if you press too hard on it, you can physically have a pilot sitting in the vehicle, which is actually a surprise, because I tried with a few like micro mini things and they really didn't fit if you try to pull them out through here. I think the minifigure should be able to pull out, which is definitely interesting. So that means that this does have playability to some regard, which is quite honestly quite surprising. But I think I'm pretty happy with the improvements. Definitely it does have some big drawbacks, like stability in like the structure department, but it does stand. I don't know if it can still stand on its hind legs, but I know that that was a possibility earlier into the design. It does not appear to be so anymore. But yeah, definitely some interesting stuff this thing is. So, if you found this enjoyable, why not leave a like or subscribe? And thank you for watching. I don't normally shout myself out, but I feel like, you know, why not? I haven't been on the platform for like 5 years, so might as well, right? Alright, so thank you, and see everybody next time. Bye.